Hello, Trinity family. This is Pastor Doer, and this is your Theology in 3. Today, I'd like to read a section from Matthew chapter 5. This is the Sermon on the Mount, and Jesus has some words here that I think will be historically and culturally interesting. This is what he says in verse 14. "You are the light of the world. The city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Jesus is using a metaphor here to tell us what we're called to do. Now, he talks about light, and he gives two examples of light. The first is a city set on a hill. Every city is set on a hill. In the ancient world, you put a city on a hill because it was defensible. You also put the city in the same place over and over again because that spot has access to arable land and to water. So those three things encourage people to settle in the same place for centuries and millennia. And so over time, the hill actually gets taller as people continue to settle in that same spot. So every city is set on a hill. It's kind of silly to think about hiding it. It's right there in plain sight for everybody to see. Everybody knows where it is. It's right there on top. The other thing he says is nobody lights a lamp and puts it under a basket. So let's talk about what the lamp looked like. This is a replica of a lamp that I got when I was in Israel the last time. It's a replica. The original things are much nicer, much more finely made than this. This is a quick reproduction. Now, this thing is, this is the way it works. You put olive oil in this hole here. It has a lid, so you put the lid on it. And then you put a wick here, much like our candles in church. You put the wick here, and then the olive oil goes into the wick, and then it burns off of the wick, and you end up with a light. Now, this might not seem like a lot of light, but if you're in a dark room and you don't have electricity, this is going to actually give you quite a lot of light to work with. Just think about when you get up in the middle of the night to use the restroom and you can't see the floor, and so you pull out your phone and you turn the flashlight on. The flashlight's pretty useless in the middle of the day, but at night, it's quite useful and quite helpful. This is what he's talking about. You would never, ever, ever light this lamp and put it under a basket. That's just silly. It's wasteful for starters, but it's also pointless. Why did you light it in the first place if you're just going to hide it? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this is what he's calling us to do. It says, you've received the grace, the mercy. Jesus, as the light of the world, he gives to us light. He shines it on our sin and darkness and chases away all of our sin and darkness and death and everything that is associated with that. He shines that in our lives. Here's the thing. He gives us grace. He gives us mercy. He gives us salvation. But that's not given to us to be ours. We don't get to hoard it and hide it under a basket or put it in somewhere where nobody was going to find it. That's given to you. It's given to me to give to other people. That's what the light of the world is. It's our job to receive and then to give. That's what he's calling us to do here in Matthew chapter 5. And so he's using this analogy because it's nonsense to light the lamp and hide it. It's also nonsense to receive the grace of God and hide it. Instead, we're called to take it and to share it. That's what we're called to do. That's why we are called the light of the world. The lamp that's not hidden under a basket. The city that's not hidden, but it's sitting on a hill. I pray that you would have a blessed rest of your day.